Hi, I'm voice actor Brian Froud. I play Harold on Total Drama Island. Gosh, I'm Harold. And I play Sam on Total Drama Revenge. I'm Sam, and I love video games. And you. Listen to Da Boys on the internet.
Uh-huh. What? Booyah. Farewell, Total Drama Island. I loved, I lost, and I saw boobies. What more can a man ask for?
I've always liked you. Man hands or no man hands. You were cute before, but now you're like the hottest warrior in Mutazoid 5. You're the Dakotazoid!
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Voice Podcast. My guest today is a voice actor, voice director, and many more. You may have heard his voice as Harold and Sam in the Total Drama series, Beezy and Jimmy Two Shoes, Lynch in Detention Error, Marty in Toon Marty, Quincy and Antonio in Safari, and many more. So, welcome, Mr. Brian Froud. Welcome, Brian.
Hi, good to be here.
So, Brian, what have you been up to? How are you doing? What's Brian doing?
Pretty good. Yeah, I'm just kind of existing, enjoying life as much as I can. Yeah, how about you, Joe?
I'm doing pretty good, just hanging out. Like this is crazy, this whole situation, believe it or not, 2020, I graduated virtually high school.
Wow. Well, congratulations.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Brian, what made you want to become a voice actor? Who would you say is your biggest inspiration for voice acting, would you say?
Well, when I was young, it was Monty Python.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, those guys did so many different characters and voices and stuff like that. So that's kind of where it began. But all the while as well, watching Looney Tunes and stuff like that. So it kind of all went hand in hand, the sketch comedy characters and as well as animation to me, because a lot of them were really just exaggerated, fun takes on weird characters and stuff. So I really was drawn to that, and I just love doing that kind of stuff, for my friends and everything. And then it evolved from there. But yeah, a lot of stuff, and later on it was The Simpsons and Roger Rabbit and stuff like that.
Wow. So yeah. Did you like Mel Blanc then? Is that like one of your inspirations, would you say then?
Oh, absolutely. When I was younger, like very young,
Okay.
Mel Blanc, but I started recognizing voices and voice actors when I was watching more like Transformers and G.I. Joe. Those two were like huge for me because there were so many different characters in those shows as well. So you get the whole spectrum of voices and tonalities and stuff. And so the actors that worked on those shows specifically, I really enjoyed. And, I mimicked a lot of that stuff too on the playground and everything. And, Ironhide, but Prime, stuff like that. Starscream, it was great.
Wow. Now, did you have like a favorite voice actor then? Like if you could choose back when you were younger?
When I was younger, favorite voice actor? I mean, like when I was a kid, it was I didn't really know many names because we didn't really have the internet and a lot of research and stuff like that. I knew the names at the end of the show, like obviously Frank Welker is a big one, but I didn't know who played Starscream, but he was great. And Cobra Commander and stuff, but any of those actors from Transformers, and since looking back, realizing how influential they were on me, I really respect those performers for all their work. But when I was basically in my youth, when I started learning more about actors who played characters and stuff, it was more like Hank Azaria, Harry Shearer, Dan Castellaneta, and a lot of those actors from The Simpsons and obviously Billy West really inspired me to just become what they do. Loved what they do, so I was like, I wonder if I can do that. So.
Wow. And Frank Welker's like such a legend too. Like he's done so many things, which is crazy.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Now, what is your favorite voice acting role you've done in your whole career? Favorite, and can you do the voice of your favorite character? What would you say?
Well, I loved Team Marty just because it was my first lead role and stuff, and I feel like I did my best work on Team Marty because he had a huge spectrum of emotion, and as well as different sort of characters on that show I would play as well. So I was balancing a lot of different stuff. So
For him, it was a lot like, so much fun to do. Because he was up and down, and sometimes he would just talk like this, really quiet.
and I discovered in myself a way to, go to Mars and go, wow, it's super crazy, and then go,
And just talk like a friend.
and it's sort of just like I found a place that I was comfortable in to be a cartoon character, but also with emotion and empathy and all these different ways to express myself. So that was really special to me. There were times when I made people laugh while I was doing it in the booth and stuff, and just seeing them laugh behind the glass was great. But also sometimes being able to touch them and their emotions would, wow, that was really special, and it's like, wow, that's really cool. Like I never, it took me a while to get to that point where I could actually have a character affect somebody emotionally, not just like, hey, what a silly voice, you know what I mean? So it was a really great plateau, or really great part of my life to move forward from and discover new things and learn about the craft. So
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, if you wouldn't mind, can you do some of Harold and Sam's voice from Total Drama?
Of course, yeah. Well, Harold is, I haven't done Harold for a while. I guess it was like last year I did a video or something. Gosh, it takes a little while for me to get back into Harold because he was a while ago, but he's still here. Gosh, and wah, wah, awesome, booyah. And then Sam, he comes naturally to me because I kind of like that sometimes. I'm watching a show. That was great. I'm just like, boop, 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 playing video games. I do it all the time, actually. I'm a gamer, so I really relate. There you go.
Oh my God. That's so cool, Brian. That's so cool.
Thanks, man.
And Sam, I'm assuming that the inspiration is like Seth Rogen. It sounds a lot like.
Yeah, absolutely.
I can see that.
Yeah, especially the laugh. So I watched some interviews of David Letterman with Seth Rogen, and just realized like, oh, I think I can do that. Like that laugh is infectious, and obviously it's an iconic laugh now at this point. But it's really cool, funny guy. So like he makes amazing stuff. So I was like, wow, I got to do this justice, and so I found that laugh, and from there was just able to come up with a character that, he sounds a bit more gruff than Seth Rogen, but it is an extension of Seth Rogen for sure. Yeah, definitely inspired by that guy. Yeah.
How did you get the voice for? Is it like I hear people say Napoleon Dynamite for Harold? Is that inspiration behind Harold's voice?
Yeah, they were kind of looking for a Napoleon Dynamite type character, and they wanted something similar, and I guess I was just doing sort of my impression of Napoleon Dynamite at the time. I didn't really consider anything different. Like it was on the page right in front of me, so I was like, okay, well, I'll try this. I mean, after I saw the movie, I was doing the voice immediately after anyway, and then of course months later, I don't even know how long it was until they requested it, but it was the way Napoleon Dynamite talked was, Tina, come get your dinner, and so I made him a little younger and made him a little more energetic and stuff, and then Harold became something like this, Lashana, it was definitely very inspired by Napoleon Dynamite, right? I love seeing you laugh, man. That's great.
That's really. I love your voice acting, Brian. You're so cool. How you change from one tone. I mean, it's so cool.
Oh, thanks, Joe. Thank you.
Yeah. Now, if you wouldn't mind too, can you do some of Beezy's voice and Lynch's voice? That's possible. If you know.
Yeah, no problem. Beezy's just, he's just hanging out most of the time. He likes to laugh. You know, Breezy's fun. And Lynch, green apple splat. It's the splattiest. Wow, my mind is blown.
That's a talent, Brian. I'm sorry. That's a talent. It's awesome.
Thanks, man. He was fun. He was fun to do, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, can you like walk me through like the audition process, like how you got the roles of Harold and Sam? It's possible.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, when I first started in acting, it was, you know, in drama school, and so, well, like high school drama classes, and that's where my teacher was really instrumental in getting me to do this kind of stuff, and was like, you need to do this, because like I did this mime piece that was, you know, one of my favorite movies is Ghostbusters, and there's this like mime piece that I did that to one of the songs on the soundtrack, like an instrumental song, and I was just making breakfast, but I was like pouring milk to the sound of the doo and the music and stuff, and so I was just being really animated and stuff, and I think that made her realize like, wow, you've got something special there. You should really you know, take off with that. I also did an impression of Hannibal Lecter from Silence of the Lambs. Clarice, the lambs were screaming, weren't they? You know, I was doing that in high school. You know, it's kind of like, I kind of freaked out a few of my classmates. But she was, it was Lisa Borkovich. She was great. She was instrumental in getting me to, you know, channel that and actually use it as, you know, with confidence and, you know, get on stage and, hey, why don't you just jump into this? And okay, yeah, that sounds fun. You know, like you're going to do that. So from there, after that, I worked for a year, and then I went to university, and in university, I met lots of cool people, lots of, you know, actors and writers and directors and stuff like that. So from there, when I got to Toronto, which is where I am now, is I did a lot of theater and children's plays, and I did a lot of characters in those. I toured around Canada and the United States doing like improvisational science shows at county fairs and stuff like that. So from there, it was, okay, well, I mean, I'm going to go back home and see what I can do with this and see if I can find a talent agent, which I was told, well, this is what you need. You need a talent agent, right? So I was like, okay, well, I don't know how to do that, but I'll talk to my peers and everything. And, you know, sure enough, there were some great people who pointed me in the right direction and, you know, told me, you know, you get an agent, you know, you send a demo or you make a little film of yourself or, you know, recording or whatever. And then, you know, back then it was not a lot of internet. So it was just kind of word of mouth as well. And you tried to get them to come see your shows or your plays or your sketch comedy or whatever you were doing at the time. I was in Second City, so I did a lot of sketches and stuff like that, much like Monty Python or SCTV, Kids in the Hall. And I was trying to do that kind of stuff. And then eventually I got signed with an agent, and then they send me out to stuff. They get breakdowns from production companies and so we're looking for a weird actor. You know, that's specifically what they say when they want me. We're looking for weird. Get Brian Froud. Yeah, it sort of starts that way, where an agent will send you out to a bunch of stuff, and then a few will come back, and then you do your best, you audition, and then you hope to get the part. Cross your fingers, and then you refresh your email a bunch of times. And that's the audition process. But as far as like actually working on the material itself, that's a whole other animal. You know, you break down your script and you find out what the author's intentions are, and you know, break it up into beats. Sometimes I'll write little like, oh, I want to go up on this note. I'll write a little slash that goes upwards to be like, oh, say it like this. Oh, okay. And you try to find all these different levels to make it a fun like roller coaster ride through the lines and stuff like that. Find different levels, right? And so yeah, anyway, long story short, auditions come from agents. So, yeah.
So that's really cool. Now, since you said Ghostbusters, side question, who's your favorite Ghostbuster?
Oh, favorite Ghostbuster.
Yes.
Can I say Rick Moranis? He wasn't really a Ghostbuster, but he was great, you know. So I loved his performance. Bill Murray, but I mean, Rick Moranis is so good in that, you know. Are you are you the gatekeeper? You know, what is he? Okay, who brought the dog? You know, he just love that. He's so good at that. He's so funny. But yeah, when he's eating the pizza and he's just yeah, Spaceballs too. He's amazing, man.
You see, I like Egon. Do you know Egon from Ghostbusters?
Oh, love you. Oh God, Harold Ramis. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
He's a legend, man.
You mentioned like a classic. I love Ghostbusters too. It's a classic film.
Yeah.
Nice.
I still have like it was one of the first music tapes I ever bought was the soundtrack, and I still have that cassette I had when I was like whatever 12, 15 or something. I don't know, like whatever 1984 was. I still have that cassette, and I have a little can that is like a canned ghost. So it's just an empty can, but it has the Ghostbusters symbol on it, and I have a T-shirt still. But yeah, I loved that. That was my religion back then. Was the Ghostbusters? Yeah.
Awesome. Now, favorite total drama character other than Harold and Sam? She's a favorite.
I really liked Izzy. I thought she was so wacky and fun and just off the wall. And Katie Brown does an amazing job as Izzy. So I was just like, oh, that character is great. It's so bonkers and so much fun to watch. So I'd say her. Duncan's great, you know, Owen. And, you know, it's hard to pick. I mean, there's a lot of great performances in that show. But, yeah.
I'm shocked you choose your girlfriend LaShawn and your girlfriend Dakota.
Of course, Novi Edwards is amazing, man. Like LaShawn holds a spot. She's on another level.
Is that
Dream Woman, Joe?
that one song cracks me up too. Like in World Tour, when you were talking about, do you remember that song we talked about LaShawn? It's called "Baby."
Oh yeah,
it's so hot.
Baby. Girl. Yeah, I can't remember much of it, but yeah, absolutely. That was so much fun. Like that was the first time I ever sort of got to sing. So that was really challenging, but it was great because I had a lot of other people in the booth and stuff. And Emily Claire Barlow actually does sing, so she was able to give everybody some pointers and stuff like that. She's an accomplished jazz singer. So, but yeah, that was great. So much fun.
Also, I'm trying to say Dakota's, you know, Sam's girl.
Yeah. Dakota, she's my dream woman, or lizard, whatever.
Yeah. Wow. Now, favorite of the two you voice, if you choose one of the two, Harold or Sam, the two you voice.
That's like trying to pick my children, and who do you like better? Oh man, both equally low. I'm gonna say, you know, that I love them both. Harold obviously opened the door for a lot of different characters and stuff like that, and I got cast in a lot of different things and was able to, you know, explore this industry and have a lot of fun along the way. But yeah, Harold and Sam are both like near and dear to my heart, so it's hard to choose between the two.
They're so different too. Like the voices, like you do, like they're really cool too. Like, oh my god.
Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, I try to do that in my characters, is to make them all different and make them sound as different as possible to one another. But yeah, that's the goal of mine usually when I'm doing different characters. Yeah, or like Zafari with Antonio, who talks really deep like this, you know, and then
You know, Quincy's way up here. You know,
he's like Marty, but as if Marty had a helium balloon out on him all the time. So.
Favorite total drama season, would you say?
That's a tough one because, like, sometimes I'll say total drama action because I worked more. I was in it longer. But, you know, Island is near and dear to my heart because it was the first, you know, season, and it really introduced us to a lot of great characters. and it was really original and unique at the time. So it was really cool, cool season. But I also really liked World Tour because I did get to record a lot with the other actors, and got to know them and everything, and establish friendships and stuff. So that was really special because in the first couple seasons it was mostly just on our own. We would go in by ourselves. There wasn't many group records, but in Total Drama World Tour sometimes there was 3 or 4 of us at a time and just bouncing off one another, so it was more organic, the scenes and stuff like that. So to me, I think that I look back on that as really fond memories.
Now, if you could take a guess, Brian, what would you say you think is my favorite season? All the seasons.
Are you a Sam guy or a Harold guy? You got them both too. You have to choose too. I'm gonna say Island, the first.
Island. You're close. World Tour.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. What about World Tour did you like?
I really love the songs too. Like, they're so catchy. I'm sorry, but they were so catchy, Brian. I'd probably listen to them on repeat actually because they're catchy.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a great season for sure.
Yeah. And that was funny too, like when Harold dressed up like as a Sam.
Yeah. So much fun.
Wow. Yeah. Now, I don't know if you heard the 2 new seasons about Total Drama. Did you hear anything about that, Brian? Or
I did. Yeah, I heard about
it. That would be cool if Harold or Sam came back. That's all.
That would be cool.
That would be cool. Right. That would be.
But it would be cool, wouldn't it?
It would be like, I'd be like, oh my god! Imagine like the final 2, Harold and Sam. Would you be like, what?
Oh, that would be cool.
Yeah. That'd be cool. Yeah. The Battle of the Nerds. I'm kidding.
Yeah, exactly. Is it gonna come down to a game of dodgeball or video games?
I feel like Harold would be really good at video games for some reason. I don't know why. Like, he might have that secret ability. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely. He probably went to Magic Steve's video game camp. Or yeah. They should do Total Drama movie. I've been saying that for years. They need to do that. Total Drama movie. Come on, let's get a movie going. Put everybody in there. I saw Scott in a TV show. I forget the name of it right now, but it's a Canadian show, or at least it was shot in Canada, I think. And he did a great job. Plays kind of like a sort of like a creepy sort of like childlike character, but he does an excellent job. It's very mysterious, but he's one of the good guys and stuff, and it's a really good performance, really subtle and understated. Yeah, he's a great actor.
Are you talking about From?
That's the one. That's the one. I was trying to think of what it was, but you got it. That's the one. Because I just watched it recently. Yeah.
Because whenever I can, I like to promote. Because he's like a good friend of mine now. Since this podcast became friends, I like to promote a show From. So that's
Absolutely good show. Yeah. Creepy. A lot of really creepy stuff in that show.
Yeah.
But in a good way. I love that stuff.
Yeah, because I don't know if I told you too, Brian. Believe it or not, Total Drama is my favorite show of all time.
Oh, nice. Well, thanks for watching and being such a loyal fan for all these years, Joe.
Thank you.
We can't do this stuff without you,
Thank you. It feels weird watching Total Drama too. Like, after I interview the person, I'm like, oh my god, that's so and so. Like, for example, when I see Harold now and Sam, I'm like, oh my god, that's Brian. I talked to him.
Well, it's great to finally meet you and put a face to a face.
Thank you. If you were really on an island, what 3 famous people, dead or alive, would you bring with you?
Wow, that's a good question.
Thank you.
Man, maybe Einstein would be able to invent a way for us to get off the island, and back to civilization. So maybe that dude. Jim Carrey would probably be really fun to hang out with. It's kind of hard because then you have guys from Monty Python who are just like I don't know if how well they would do on an island, but I would just be in awe the whole time. So I think I'd be distracted really well. But yeah, I don't know. Is there somebody who builds boats really good out of trees? Mind you, it'd be nice to stay on an island for a while, especially with what's going on in the world. So yeah, that's a really good question. I mean, my partner, Cassandra, So yeah, definitely.
I believe it or not, too. Like you said, Jim Carrey. I had his co-star. Have you ever seen? Did you see the Sonic movie yet? Or heard of it? Or the new
Which
Sonic?
one?
That Sonic.
Oh, Sonic. I've seen the first one. I haven't seen the second one yet. Is it good?
Believe it or not, I had on Ben Schwartz. Do you know who he is? Oh, Brian.
What's that?
I had on Ben Schwartz from Sonic. Do you know who that is? Ben Schwartz. He's like an actor.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I just watched the after party. That guy's hilarious, and he seems really nice too.
Yeah.
The guy's an amazing improviser. Like
Yes.
the stuff he does is incredible, and he's such a quick-witted, funny guy. I remember seeing him first on Parks and Rec with. Do you know his character's name on?
John Ralphio?
Yeah, it's so good, so funny. Yeah, he's such a weirdo. I love him. He's great.
Because I had him on. You said you liked the after party though. You said you liked
After Party's amazing. Yeah, like I love it because it reminded me of Clue. Like that was a movie in the '80s that I love. I love ensemble comedies, and After Party is right up there. I mean, that song, like, sure, whatever. That's so funny, man. Like when he burst into that song, I was just like, this show is on another level. And of course, the guys from Spider-Verse did it, and Mitchell's. That man, amazing. I would love to work with those guys, but yeah, he's freaking hilarious, dude. Yeah.
Wow. Did you watch the whole show, the whole season, or almost?
After Party?
Yes.
Yeah. Totally.
Did you know that he would be the killer?
You know what? I guessed it. I did. My partner was like, how did you? And I was like, I think it's him. And so I did guess it. But yeah, there were a lot of twists and turns along the way where I was like, I don't know if I'm right. I can't tell. Like, is it Ike Barinholtz? I think that's too obvious. And then, I was just like, no, I think it is. I think it's going to turn out to be Ben Schwartz. And it was. And I was like, yeah, give myself a pat on the back,
I thought it was going to be him at first, or that guy that played Walt. Walt, the one that nobody remembers.
That guy's amazing. That actor is so funny. He was great. Yeah. He's very awkward and just like, I thought that was a good motivation. Like nobody remembers me, so how do I get people to remember me? It's like, murder. But yeah, he's terrific, man. That guy's so good.
If you like, I could text like after this podcast. I could text Ben. You said hello. I got you, Brian.
What?
Me and Ben still keep in touch. If you want, tell me say hello.
Oh, I would love to. Yeah.
I got you. I got you. I'll text him and say this voice actor and voice director and actor Brian Froud says hello, and I got you.
Man, thanks, man. Joe, you're amazing.
Yeah,
that's incredible. He's such a great performer.
Yeah.
I just admire him so much. Yeah.
I still keep
the start. And Jenny Slate too. He and her on Parks and Rec were so good together. And Jenny Slate's an incredible voice actress as well. Incredible actor, on camera too. So, but yeah, both amazing.
Yeah, I still keep in touch with them though. After I had to, believe it or not, keep in touch with my guests. So yeah, I still keep in touch with Ben.
That's really cool, man. I admire what you're doing too, buddy.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Now, is there a role in a movie or TV show or anything that you would love to portray, like a superhero? I know you played a supervillain technically in Superboy. Was there a role you'd love to do?
I mean, in high school, it was Hamlet because of I wanted to play Hamlet a lot. And there's this movie, Rosencrantz and Guildenstern Are Dead, with Tim Roth and Gary Oldman. It's a great movie and based on a play by Tom Stoppard. And I loved that so much, but I was like, maybe I can play Hamlet. I never actually got around to doing that. I played Macbeth, but I'm not in a theater, so nothing's going to fall on me. But then it was Bart Simpson. I was like, oh man, I'd love to play Bart Simpson, like the real life Bart Simpson. But I always wanted to play Spider-Man as well when I was younger. Spider-Man's one of my favorite comic book characters, so that would have been cool. Now, as I'm older, I'm not sure. It's Gandalf. You sound of us. But yeah, I'll take any role and just sort of try to make it my own and play with it, and make people laugh is the best, because we need it. We need it so much, But Dream role, like, yeah, those are the ones that I used to really want to do. But Santa Claus would be cool too, with the beard for it. My hair's getting longer, so. What do you want for Christmas, Joe? He's like an old Hamlet.
I actually, believe it or not, like you said, the laughter thing, I actually heard like a quote from a voice actor I knew, Bob Paulson. Do you know who that is, though? He's a popular voice actor, Bob Paulson.
Absolutely, yeah.
He told me like laughter is the best medicine. You can I think you can't OD on it, and the refills are free, something like that. I don't know how it was worded, but he worded it so well. Like, it's the best.
Absolutely. Oh, speaking of that island question and laughter being the best medicine, I think Robin Williams would be really cool to have on that island. You would never get bored.
Yeah. He was an icon too.
Oh, absolutely, one of the best, if not the best. Like,
yeah,
just incredible.
Yeah, nice. Now, who would you say is the coolest person you ever worked with your whole career?
Wow. Well, Sean Scott is super cool. The guy who created Jimmy Two Shoes and Toon Marty. That guy was amazing. You know, wasn't me. He was amazing. No, he's still amazing. So that was great. But I mean, like, I've worked with a lot of different people. Like, you know, especially on Total Drama, all that whole team was fantastic. Like, everybody was really, you know, on point with that show. Everybody wanted to make something special, and we feel we did. And it was really cool to work with all those people. I mean, especially the directors, and like Deborah Toffin, and also with Jimmy Two Shoes, Merlin Ridley. Those two for me were like such good directors for me, because they were, you know, just really let you go and do your thing. You know, there wasn't a lot of like control. It was more of just like, go ahead, see what you got, you know, and then they would tweak here and there and just know what to say. And fantastic people. But yeah.
Now, over the years of your career, do you still keep in touch with co-stars and directors you've worked with?
Yeah, occasionally I'll get messages or whatever, and occasionally, you know, likes on photos and things, the way social media is now and stuff like that. So yeah, and little like talk back and forth. Yeah, still to actually someone whom isn't part of the Total Drama universe, but she is in. She was in Superstore, Lauren Ash.
Ooh.
Yeah, and she's in She-Ra as well, Princess of Power. I think she was in that as well. But we used to live together. We were roommates, and we did some shows together and stuff too. So it's really cool to see her career trajectory as well as Mae Martin. She was kind of up and coming when I was at Second City, so she was just kind of watching everybody, and you know, she'd attest to this, being in the corners just laughing and look studying everybody and everything. She's amazing. So it's really cool to see like people succeed in that kind of way, where it's like, oh man, you deserve it. Really cool. Great people. What
director would you say taught you the most? Is there a director you want to work with that you haven't worked with yet, but you want to work with?
Well, there's a film director, Terry Gilliam, who I've wanted to work for my entire life. He was in Monty Python, and so he does amazing stuff. And I've always wanted to work with that guy because he seems like a, you know, wacky like me, and you know, unhinged and all that stuff. So in a good way. Yeah, but as far as animation goes, I mean, the guys who did Mitchells and the Machines and Spider-Verse and everything. I must say Phil Moorhead, but maybe I'm thinking of somebody else. I wish I off the top of my head, I don't know their names, but I should. And this shouldn't be you can edit this part out where I don't know who I want to work with. The guys who did that movie that's really funny, I would like to work with them.
Anyway. Would you want to work with aspiring young director Joe Zito?
Oh, absolutely. Oh, by the way, yeah, if there's anybody who has anything, you know, wants to send me, I'll just do my voice and see what I can do. But send me your stuff and I'll voice it, especially if you're in the States, because then I'm not in the union down there, so I can just do your project. So that includes anybody. Joe, you too, you know, send me your stuff. Send me a little like animation thing you did, and if you tell me a voice you want for it, sure. I even edit stuff myself, so I can put together something for you if you want, you know.
We're
putting that out there. So ripped my inbox, but yeah.
Because I actually, believe it or not, as a hobby, Brian, I love to write scripts.
Awesome.
Love to write scripts. We saw like, oh my god, like some of them's mystery, sci-fi, action, adventure, comedy.
Sweet. I love all those genres, man. So send them my way, and I'll see what I can do.
Thank you, Brian.
Yeah, I have a home studio recording setup here. It's modest, but it does the job.
Nice. Now, if you weren't like a voice actor, what do you think you would have done as a career instead? What other interesting hobbies do you have besides voice acting?
I love painting and drawing as well. I haven't painted for a long time, but I draw as well as design characters, and I also write as well. So I do want to create my own show. I've got a few ideas. I've got an idea for a movie that I want to pitch. But I definitely need to work on the actual packet and see if I can get in the door of one of the companies. But yeah, I got a lot of ideas on the go for that kind of stuff. So I know that's really close to voice acting, but yeah, I would love to direct and write. I directed before and I had a really great time. So I think I'd be really happy to be doing that again. And but anything other than that would be probably cooking. I like to cook and stuff, but also like I don't like the danger of that with like knives and everything. So I'm very careful, and I'm a very slow cook. So just because I like my fingers where they are, but I do like to cook. My specialty is mac and cheese, but it is a very good mac and cheese, a gourmet mac and cheese. But yeah, I do all kinds of different stuff in the kitchen. But yeah, I think that's kind of what I would do. It's exciting, you know. But yeah, not a lawyer or an accountant or anything like that. I don't think I would be into that. But yeah, anything artistic where I get to express myself would be at the top of my list. Yeah.
You said you earlier you game. Like, what do you game? What do you game on? Do you PC, console? What are you?
Oh,
I play video games. Sorry.
I'm a PS5 guy. I was one of the lucky ones. Yeah, I actually got it pretty close to, like, it was about 3 months after it was released or something. So I got super lucky, refreshing my page and everything, and I got one. And yeah, I play Destiny 2, and I've been playing that for a long time. I play tons of games, but that's one that I always go back to because it's a great shooter. It's a perfect crispy shooter with an amazing storyline. So but I am looking into doing streaming in the next while. I'm just going to get myself set up with a PSN camera, and then I'm going to do some more like Twitch type stuff and everything. I don't need like a huge audience. It can be overwhelming starting, especially being my age and stuff. It's like, oh, I'm gonna play games and see if I can get an audience. All these kids watching me. Look what I can do. I still got it. It's not like I just want to do it for myself because I enjoy it. It's like a hobby, but it's also a passion. Like, I love gaming so much. So I want to do that. I want to do some Twitch stuff in the near future and everything. And yeah, I've sort of flirted with it a little bit, did a few things, but I'm going to do like some major changes in that direction in the near future. So you can expect me to be tweeting about that kind of stuff and posting things. Look at this thing I did in my game, That's great. That's great. Yeah. You're almost 50, but that's great. That's great. I love it. It's so much fun to do.
Nice. I have actually a couple questions to ask you regarding that video games. I actually believe I play on PlayStation 2, so if you're ever down, if you ever want to run a game.
Amazing. Yeah, absolutely. What games do you play?
I play a variety. I do the sport games. I do Fortnite, Call of Duty, all the
awesome. Awesome, dude. You should get into Destiny too. It's super good.
I think I own the first Destiny, but I have to buy the second one still.
Second one's epic. It's now like evolved into like a MMO, like a huge, like it is. They're taking a page from Fortnite and all that, and World of Warcraft and stuff, and it's super space magic. Love it. It's so great. And that's one of the crispiest shooters I've ever played. It's so good.
And I believe it or not, I used to stream on Twitch. So if you ever need like any help, like do you know what panels are? like the links that say this is like about schedule, social media, like, it says all like people have their descriptions. If you need help with those,
Oh wow! Oh, thanks, Joe. I appreciate that.
Yeah, because I understand what it means to go through like Twitch, because I know how to do commands too, like those commands. People have commands, moderator stuff. I got you, Brian.
Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, I'll probably ask you to hook me up with stuff because I obviously don't know much about it. I mean, I have Google, but now that I have you, I will ask you about that before
personal assistant. I got you.
Thanks, man.
I got you. Really you're welcome. Yeah, because I used to stream a lot, but then I stopped because my first PlayStation 4, I had to get a new one. But my first PS4 crashed midstream. I was like, what happened? It crashed and wouldn't turn back on. That's why I stopped for a while. But I still remember all the, the little stuff. I know the tips and tricks.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, that's good to know, man. Mm-hmm. I will ask you about that stuff when I get closer to the time of doing that. Just need the camera first. But when I get that, I'm going to start doing it. So. Yeah. Nice. I'm also in the process of a move. So when the actual, when we land in the right place, that I set up, get everything all set up, and then I can have a little space where I can stream and everything. So yeah, nice. That's the goal.
Nice. Now, favorite band or artist and type of music, right?
My favorite band of all time is Pavement. They actually have reunited. They're a '90s band, but yeah, they reunited recently. The last time they played live was 2010. But my friend got me tickets for. They're playing in Toronto in September. I'm super pumped about that. I just love them. They're just like wacky, goofy guys, and their music is incredible. It's almost indescribable. they just, every song is great to me. They're my favorite band of all time. But yeah, I like a lot of different kind of music, but mostly 90s sort of guitar driven music, grungy stuff. Is indie rock is what I like. There's this band Trace Mountains. It's the guy from a band called Level Up, which is a great name for a band, but they do sort of like a 90s inspired type of rock. But he's also like does a bit of alt country type stuff and amazing stuff. Trace Mountains, look them up. They're great. Really catchy stuff. Really beautiful music that guy does. But yeah.
So if I get anybody from the band Pavement, would you want to co-host, Brian?
What?
Would you?
Oh yeah, but I probably wouldn't be able to talk. So you'd have to do most of it. Be like, you're Pavement. Actually, I got, this is crazy, and I still can't believe it happened to me, is Stephen Malcolmus from Pavement was doing a solo tour, and he came to Montreal, but his throat was sore, so like he couldn't sing as well as he would have liked. And I was, at the end of the set, it was sort of cut short, and he's like, okay, well, let's get people up to do Pavement songs. And I was just like, yeah. And somehow I managed to raise my hand. I don't know where I got that courage, but I was chosen to come up on stage, and I did a Pavement song with them, Stereo, which is Steve Malcolmus and the Jicks. Yeah, I'll never forget that. That was a once in a lifetime thing where it's like, okay, I can die now. I'm cool. I got to sing with Stephen Malcolmus. It was, I can't tell you, Joe. Like, that is like one of those moments in your life where you're like, did that just happen? So yeah.
Is it like that Wayne's World moment? Like, we're not worthy. That's
absolutely. Where like, inside I'm like melting and it's like butterflies and everything, but the performer side of me kicked in where I was like, okay, just, you're on stage, you own this, you gotta deliver this and like try to get this crowd hyped, and so I was just trying to do that. But yeah, that was so much fun. So, oh my god, like that was an incredible experience, one of the highlights of my life for sure.
So I'm going to try to get them for you. I got you, Brian. I'll invite you too. I'll be like, Brian, join us. Let's go.
Thanks, man.
I got you. Well, that's really cool because, believe me, my parents, my mom, she raised me like on 80s music. 80s
Oh,
music.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. There's so many good bands in the 80s, right?
Oh, yeah. Like, I love the Go-Go's as well. amazing. And there's a whole bunch of bands from the 80s that I like as well, you know. Even like Depeche Mode, some of the electronic stuff and everything. I there's a lot of bands that I love from that era, you know, and Echo and the Bunnymen and stuff. But yeah, that's very cool. Like, yeah, she'd probably have a cool record collection, I imagine.
Yeah.
Cool.
I actually, believe it or not, got to meet my favorite band of all time too, Brian.
Who's that?
They're 70s, 80s, and 90s, but their lead singer passed away in the 90s, but they're still tour with the two original members of the lead singer. Do you know who the band is? Before I tell you.
Give me another hint. Okay.
They're British, and their band name, you would think it would be like a girl name. It's a girl name, but they're dudes in the band, if that makes sense. I don't know if that makes sense at all.
Okay. It's not the Who.
It's a good choice, though.
I'm thinking, I'm like, Jen, Michelle. I'm like, I don't know. You got me. Who is it?
Okay. Opposite of King.
Opposite of
King?
King? Oh, Queen. Oh, there you go. Okay, awesome. Nice, dude.
I got to meet the guitarist Brian May and the drummer Roger Taylor. I was like,
wow. That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Very cool. When I was a kid, I used to listen to Radio Gaga a lot because it was right around the time when that famous Live Aid performance was, and I was at the right age of like, you know, just starting to get into music and stuff, and that song was everywhere. So I loved it, you know, like that was great.
Do you know the inspiration behind that song or no?
Not really. I mean, I know what the song's about, but what's the inspiration for it?
Okay, well, the song name, the inspiration behind the song name, radio, and then so originally Roger Taylor, the drummer, his son said "caca," like that's why I say something.
That's great.
And they just named it Gaga because it kind of rhymes with it. So radio, Gaga.
Right. Oh, that's awesome. And it's all about like filler and white noise, about like how we just like consume all this stuff, and it's all Radio Gaga. So that's hilarious that it came from that. Oh, that's funny. I learned something new today, Joe. Thank you.
Gotcha. I like know like a lot of like weird, obscure trivia facts with Queen. I don't know how. Probably because I'm a big fan of them. That's probably why. Brian.
That's amazing. Yeah.
Thank you. Now, do you favorite sports and teams? Do you have a favorite for those?
I was into hockey for a long time when I was younger, but I don't really. I mean, like when I went to university, my friend was a big fan of the Detroit Red Wings. So Steve Yzerman, I would watch that guy play, and I was like, wow, that dude's really good. Who's the guy? I always think he looks like Andy Samberg. He's his name's.
Does he still play right now?
I don't know if he still plays, but he was a great player. I'm not sure if he still plays, but yeah, name's escaping me right now.
Do you know what team?
Embarrassing. What?
Do you know what team the guy played with?
I do not.
Oh.
Because sports I'm not as much into. I consider like gaming a sport, so like, and they call it esports, right? So, but yeah, I'm a precision guy. Like I like darts and pool, like where you have to focus on small, precision sports. I was like bowling. It's not really a sport, and I like poker, which isn't a sport. It's really a game. These are game stuff. But yeah, I was into hockey for a while. But how about you?
I personally like hockey. I'm trying to think who the Andy Samberg person is now.
Yeah. You know what? When I have the moment of like understanding who it, like if I Google right, I was like, which hockey player looks like Andy Samberg, and it'll probably come up. But I will definitely message you when I find out who that is, because it's bothering me right now. I'm like,
I'm curious.
When you see it, you'll be like, oh right.
Let me see. I have my phone. I want me to look up real quick. Let's see if it comes up.
Absolutely. He was in the Olympics too, on Team Canada for a while.
Do you think he's Sidney Crosby?
That's it. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Good one, man. He's got the curly hair that kind of looks like Andy Samberg a little bit.
I could see it. He still plays. He's the Pittsburgh Penguins. So.
Right. Okay. He does still play?
Yes.
Awesome. Yeah.
Yes. Believe it or not, too, my favorite hockey team, you would think could be because I'm in Chicago, the Blackhawks, but no.
Oh, yeah.
My favorite hockey team is actually a Canadian team, the Vancouver Canucks.
Oh, nice. I love Vancouver. Have you ever been there?
Wish I could. That'd be cool.
Yeah, dude. Try to get there. It's great. Are you from Chicago?
Yes.
Oh, I love that city. I've been there a few times. I go to the Chicago Pitchfork Festival whenever I can. Yeah. I've been there maybe 5 festivals. Yeah. I love that. That city's amazing. You got an amazing city there, man. That's one of my favorite, if not my favorite American city.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, next time you're in Chicago, let us know. We'll treat you out to a good pizza.
Oh, that's amazing. Thank you.
That'd be cool.
Uno, a couple other pizza places.
That'd be cool. Have you ever been to Bocce before? Or heard of Bocce?
No.
Okay. This might sound crazy. For $8, 30-inch pizza slices.
What?
You're like, what the?
Okay, put it in my face right now. Give me all the pizza.
That's a lot of pizza. I tell you how much. Like, believe it or not, too, my brother do like a pizza challenge for them to get you one a gift card. Eat 2 of those in under 10 minutes. Eat those in 4 minutes.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
I don't know how. Now, favorite food. What's your favorite food?
I probably mac and cheese, but like pizza's up there too. Like pizza, mac and cheese are probably constantly 1 and 2 wrestling with each other. I make a mean spaghetti sauce, a mean chili. But yeah, I probably mac and cheese. I think, like the good, not KD or nothing against KD and the Kraft Corporation, but definitely mac and cheese with some. I experiment with different cheese and stuff like that. But yeah, that's probably my favorite, and chocolate chip cookies.
Are there any projects you have in the works that are coming up? Anything coming up?
I've been, like I said, with the streaming stuff, I've been sort of exploring those avenues and trying to figure out how to do that stuff. I just recently was contacted by Fallout Plays. He's a streamer who does like Destiny for the most part. He also does Dead by Daylight and stuff like that. But he found out I was Orgo from Monster Hunter: Wings of Ruin, that Monster Hunter 2, and his partner really loves Monster Hunter, so he was like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe the voice of Orgo follows me." I was like, "I can't believe Fallout just messaged me." I'm such a nerd, but he messaged me and I was talking to him a bit about he wanted to get into voice and do voice demos and stuff like that. So I still have to message him. Actually, I talked to my agent recently about that. But yeah, cool guy, super. There's actually another guy called Cool Guy, Cool Guy Games, who does Fallout or does Destiny stuff. But Fallout is amazing. Like, he's a great streamer, so I'm probably going to pick his brain if I can about just when I start up and everything like that, and make sure I don't make the mistakes that a lot of people make initially going. And obviously I'll talk to you too, Joe, but yeah, I just want to be able to do that kind of stuff soon, just for my own like fun, and if it goes somewhere, great. If not, that's okay too, because I enjoy it anyway. Like, I play Destiny a lot, so if I'm playing it, why not share it? And I'm pretty good at silly voices, so maybe I can entertain people while they watch me play video games if they want. It's up to them. But other than that, I've been designing a bunch of characters for a series that I want to do. I just need to find some animators and stuff, and some people to back it, producers, whatever. But I have some pretty good ideas for that, and I'm also working on a movie. It's in my head right now. I've got some designs and some lines, and I've got the general story arc figured out, but I think it's unique, and I think it's interesting and cool, and it would make for a great like Pixar style movie. So working on that, and a lot of my own projects right now, and definitely auditioning a lot for different things, various things. Can't really say much about that. As you know, it's kind of like, but yeah, some things in the works. Yeah.
And Harold and Sam were coming back to Total Drama.
I like how you slipped that one in there. That's like about as subtle as a Mack truck. Yeah. So give me some information on the new Total Drama. Sam and Harold coming back.
That'd be cool. They need to come back. They're, in my opinion, they're icons and legends. They should come back.
I will say it would be cool if they did.
Yeah.
That's my statement.
Mm, mm. Now, what is your advice for younger kids that want to become like a voice actor? What is your advice?
Well, just don't give up. Like, don't let anybody tell you can't do this stuff, because you can. If you really want to do it, and if you really want to just chase it and try to get into as much as you can, like at home when you're doing, like, repeat the lines in the shows you're watching, the cartoons or anything you're watching, repeat the lines and then try to play around with them in different ways. Like, but never give up. Don't ever tell anyone, or don't let anybody tell you not to do it, or like, oh, that's a dream or whatever, just like, if you have a passion for something, like, don't give that up. That is special. That is something you need to hold on to. And, you're going to have all kinds of different things happen to you in your life, but stick with it and you'll get there.
Yeah. I like to also like stay humble. Remember where you came from.
Oh, absolutely. That is super important, because you don't want to get too like high and mighty about what you're doing, because we're all the same. We're all just like bugs on this planet. Then somehow we can communicate with each other and everything. But we're all just like kind of hanging out here. So you're not, I don't want to say you're not special, but you kind of aren't. You're just like, you're everybody else, but we're all freaking special, and we all have special things about us. We just need to find those and then feed them, nurture them, help them grow, and be cool to each other, for crying out loud. Like, be kind. That is like one of the most important things, Just be nice. Everyone's mean. Be nice. Is it that hard? Like, be kind. Don't be a Karen. No offense to the real name Karen. Oh, I don't want to get into it, but there's so many like, buttheads out there. So be cool. Be nice. Be nice to the person next to you. Be nice to the person across the world.
Or as Bill and Ted would say, be excellent to one another.
Be excellent to one another. Exactly. Like my man Keanu.
Now, would you be willing to come back on for a part 2 answering some fan submitted questions, Brian?
Yeah, absolutely. Anytime, Joe.
Like, I figured I'd ask you that, because that way people want to submit questions, they can submit them after the video's over.
You got it. Anytime.
Thank you. Now, before I ask you my last question, do you have any questions, Brian?
Is this what you want to do, Joe? Is this what you want to do in podcasting? Is this your passion, is to do interviews and journalism and stuff like that?
I like to do these interviews. I like to also, I love hearing like from my childhood heroes.
Oh, yeah.
Brian Froud, for example. I love to like hear like their different stories and like take it in. Like I don't know if I told you, I started these podcasts to help spread positivity, because this is like a tough time for people, the pandemic. I'll help cheer people up, because people are down, depressed. Cheer them up with these,
That's so great, and that's so sweet of you, and that's super genuine, and I can tell you're a great person. So, like, good job. I really appreciate that, and I hope you keep at it.
Thank you. My goal is to keep going.
Yeah. Good goal to have, brother.
Thank you. So, Brian, is there anything you would like to promote and shout out, like I'll link down below in the video description?
A link or something?
Anything.
My partner is Briar Beauty Dolls. She makes these cool dolls, and like some of them you'll know, like she made Billy from Hocus Pocus, and it's super freaking cool. She repurposes dolls from different like finds them in antique markets, or we have a store called Value Village. I don't know if you guys have that. It's like a Salvation Army type store. You can find like secondhand stuff, and she repurposes that stuff into artwork. So Briar Beauty Dolls, if you search that, you should be able to find her page and stuff, and get one of those dolls, man, and make her day. But other than that, yeah, like I guess the Brian Froud is the twitch.tv thing, is where you'll probably find most of the stuff in the near future. For the time being, like, I'm on Twitter at the Brian Froud, and that's kind of, I guess, what I use for the most part. But it's hard to keep up with social media and stuff these days. There's so much going on. It's such a huge pool of talent there. But yeah, I just kind of do that stuff. I guess those are the links. I don't know. That's what I want to plug.
How do you spell the Briar, so I can make sure I look for the link?
Briar, as in Briar, beauty.com. Or not .com is just what I always say, but I don't think it is .com. It might be, but if you just search Briar Beauty Dolls, then you'll find all that stuff. It's really cool. You should check it out.
Actually, I'll help both you guys out. Maybe help you guys out, you know?
Thanks, Joe. Appreciate it.
Yeah. If you want to, I can also link down your Instagram page if you want, and your YouTube channel. Your YouTube. Because I know you do YouTube.
I do, yeah. So I also want to add stuff to that as well. Like I have a couple videos on there, but I do want to add more in the future, specifically gaming stuff. But also I have some old videos and stuff I could pop up there. And also, you know, you never know what else I could produce on there myself, like just randomly doing stuff. But I keep busy with other things for the time being. But yeah, keep an eye on those pages.
And that was funny, like when you post on your channel, that you actually like recreated the whole. You had the shirt. I'm talking about the wig. I don't know if that's a wig. Was that a wig? I'm assuming.
Yeah, that was. That's my natural hair color. That was a wig that I got online, and the glasses. I was like, I always kind of wanted to do that recreation.
That was funny.
Yeah.
That was
and I was like, oh, I think I could do this. This would be funny. And then the pandemic came. Well, now's the perfect time. I'm not as busy, and so I did that live video. I thought, okay, well now I can get that out because I wanted to reenact it shot for shot and try to. I messed up one little part, but I don't know. Only the true fans will know. He doesn't make that gesture at that moment, but it's like I wanted to reenact each shot that he does, you know, and so that was super cool. That was fun. Might do more stuff like that, but yeah, we'll see.
I do have an idea for you. Maybe you could do like if you want. It's up to you. You know how you recreated it?
Yeah.
Make like on one side, like this side, you could do like the recreation. On the other side, you could do like the actual animation. If that makes sense.
Oh yeah, yeah. Like show the original side by side with the
yes,
the reenactment. Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
I don't know if that sounds goofy to you, but I think that would.
No, that sounds great. Those split screen action.
Yeah, that'd be pretty neat. I'd be like, oh my god, you know. Sorry.
That's a good idea. I should have released it like that to begin with. Great idea, Joe.
Joe with the video ideas.
Yeah. Very cool, man.
Yeah, thank you. Well, thank you, and Brian, for being an awesome, amazing guest. I had a fun time. Thank you.
Thank you, Joe. It was a pleasure.
Yeah. Have a great day, everybody, and stay awesome, and you stay awesome, Brian.
Thank you. You too, brother. Thank you.